Should you sell your house now or wait until 2026 to sell it? I am going to go over that in detail in this video, so please stick around. So let's talk about it. The question comes up of a lot. We get this a lot. And I think the reasoning behind it is because a lot of sellers or they tried to sell their house, okay, were unsuccessful for whatever reason. And under the assumptions of the news catalysts that are coming out, they're expecting interest rates to go down. And that is the driving force behind this sentiment. So let me just explain what's going on with the data that's in the market. All right, we are experiencing pressure on prices, and it's due to two things. Number one is unaffordability. The most important thing, unaffordability, not interest rates, not prices. The fact that when a buyer breaks down their monthly payment, they cannot afford the prices of houses. Okay, it's unaffordability. If they took interest rates to 1%, then yes, they'd be able to afford the price of houses, or 3%, whatever. If interest rates were 20%, but the prices of houses were down and the monthly payment worked out, then they still would buy the house. Okay, it's about affordability, not necessarily about interest rates. All right, that's number one. Number two is inventory versus the buyers. Okay, which is supply and demand. There's a big off balance there. There's an off balance of about 25% per week with regards to the supply and demand. And that's putting a lot of extra inventory on the market for buyers to pick around and to go look at and to search for. And you're competing as a seller with multitudes of listings out there. Okay. So any given time, and here's a good example. I went to a listing appointment yesterday, and if you take the prices in St. Petersburg from 300,000 to 400,000, and these are properties that are 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes. There's 69 listings available right now between 300,000 and 400,000, and various square footages. So between, say, 1,100 square feet up to about 1,700 square feet. There's 69 houses for sale, 300,000 to 400,000. 400,000 is going to be the properties that are going to be remodeled. 300,000 is going to be properties that need remodel. Okay, so that's the zone. 69 properties for sale. Only 17 of those properties are pending, or of all properties are pending. So if you add to 69 and 17, just round it up to say there's 100 properties between 300,000 and 400,000, and only about 20% of all those properties are under contract at the moment. So that is kind of paints you a picture of what happens when a buyer enters the market. They have a lot to pick from. Okay, so what's causing this is that buyers are on the sidelines waiting for affordability, and the affordability is they're waiting for interest rates to go down. Okay, but the thing is that when a buyer starts to process their file themselves, and they start to have the desire to purchase a home, they might be paying attention to interest rates or prices necessarily, but they don't necessarily know where all of that is set up at economically like a seller does. They're just going in and going, hey, I'm ready to buy a house, and let me talk to a lender, and let's break down how much I can afford per month and how much I could buy, and let's see how that works out. And that's how initially the buyers start to purchase a home. Okay, so while we are waiting for interest rates to go down, at the same time, there's a lot of pressure on prices. Okay, so if you're waiting till 2026 because you want interest rates to go down and you feel like there's going to be more opportunity there because there's going to be more buyers there, that is very misleading, because interest rate reduction does not necessarily mean that there's more buyers in the market. Okay, what shows that there's more buyers in the market is mortgage applications, and more specifically, more pending transactions. Until we see mortgage applications go up and we see more pending transactions, which is demand, versus the supply, which is active listings coming on the market, until we see those figures really start to offset each other, then we're still going to have a lot of pressure on prices. Okay, that's just the way it is. It's a supply and demand problem, not an interest rate problem, is what I'm getting at. So if you live in the Tampa Bay area and you are selling your home in almost any zip code in the entire metro area, from basically Hernando County all the way down into Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, all the way over to Riverview, this whole area, this whole metro area, almost every single zip code is experiencing around about 0.75% of price reductions per month. Okay, per month. Okay. And if you look at the average as a whole, because there's some areas that are experiencing double that, 1.5%, 2% price reductions in their zip code per month, especially these flooded areas. But if you take the entire average of the entire area, the entire metro area, you would see that on average, every zip code, the whole area on average is averaging about 1% per month. All right. So things are pretty clear, I believe, based on the FOMC meeting they had yesterday, I believe. Jerome Powell spoke. It does not sound like he is in any kind of rush to really reduce interest rates. He's going to do it at a snail's pace, just like he did when he increased interest rates. Okay. It was a slow, methodical move that they feel is best because they want to see that they do it, and then they want to get the reports, see what happens, and then react from there. And that's how they're going to do it. So it sounds like it's going to be a very slow process while they reduce things. Okay. And in the meantime, you're going to have really high pressure on prices. Okay. When you have 1% of value of your house going down per month and you wait, that means that right now, if you were going to put your house on the market, which I always recommend, just get it on the market and let's test it and see what happens. But if you wait, then what's going to happen is that you're going to be looking at a lower price in the next 6 months or 12 months, whatever the case is. The price that you get right now is going to be less when you do list in the next. If you wait till spring or you wait till interest rates drop, the prices will be down. I think a lot of sellers are overlooking that fact. They don't realize that there's this much pressure on prices right now. And there's a lot of houses that are selling, because you also have to remember that there is 6,000 buyers per week executing contracts in this area. Okay, that's a lot of buyers. You just have to access those buyers, present your home correctly, and do the selling process correctly. And that way you get a buyer in there. You do not want to be stagnant in this market. It's a very detrimental thing to be sitting on the market right now. But in general, the longer you wait right now, the less money you're going to get. And to me, that's the answer that I would give you as a seller. You wait, you lose money. We're not in a bullish market where you wait and the prices will be the way they were now, a year from now or 6 months from now, or they'll even be higher. Most likely you wait and you will lose more money. That's the situation that we're in. So hope this helps. And of course, if you need any assistance selling, if you need help buying a house, please give us an opportunity. We'd love to help you out. All right. Take care. Thank you so much.